Welcome back everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 2021 Ford Bronco, and as you can see it has a huge amount of power, 1,460 horsepower, 1,065 pounds-feet of torque from its now 4 litre twin turbocharged V6 engine. Weighs only 3,786 pounds, which is not all that much for a modern off-roader, and yeah, it can manage 0 to 60 in 3.514 seconds, 0 to 100 in 5.951 seconds, and it will do a top speed of 228 miles an hour, which is obviously far faster than this could have managed originally. So yeah, we've also put some weight out of it outside of the usual by removing the spare wheel at the back. But we've also added lights on the front for whatever reason, just to make it look cooler. So yeah, this is the first proper off-roader that we've taken out on this series. After the Aston Martin Valhalla concept car did remarkably well for a hypercar, although obviously we're not sure if that time is going to be a good time or a bad time, because obviously that was the first car that we've taken out on this series. So yeah, let's see what this off-roader can do. Granted, it's got higher ground clearance than the Valhalla. It's meant for going off-road, unlike the Valhalla. It's also heavier and yeah, does have more power, so that might well mean it's more uncontrollable. We'll have to see. For now it's doing okay. Oh dear, that's fine. I'm not going to rewind just because of that. Remember, we only have 3 rewinds per car that we take out in this series. So yeah, you have to be extremely careful with when you want to use them, and you know, to overuse them on just one part. Because we used 2 in the with the Aston Martin Valhalla in one go. So yeah, that was very tricky to keep it on the road at that point. Also got a off-road diff, unlike the Valhalla, which had a rally diff, purely because this is obviously more of an off-road vehicle, so that's why we gave it that. And yeah, it's dealing with everything okay so far, especially, oh dear, overcooked it a little bit there, but yeah, for the most part it's dealing with everything okay, especially given it's got way more power than it had originally, more than 1,000 extra horsepower in fact. Those big chunky tyres are obviously giving us all of the grip for this off-road elements, these off-road elements. It's got plenty of power for when the route opens up. Nice slide. Clearly the only thing that's really going to scupper this is the fact it's nowhere near as agile as the Valhalla, and does seem to have more in the way of understeer at times. Yeah, we've used 2 of our rewinds now. Yeah, I really do prefer this to the previous circuit that we used, or the previous point-to-point, purely because it's just that bit tougher, a bit more challenging, a lot narrower, and a lot more technical. The previous one was fun, no doubt about that, and you could get up to some serious speed at times. But outside of maybe the first bit where you had a fair bit of twisting corners, whoa dear, it wasn't the most challenging. Well, I'm going to use my rewind there purely because we nearly finished, and that cost us a fair bit of time. Cancel. Want to rewind from the 1 point. Can only rewind once, remember. So yeah, may well have still cost us time, unfortunately. Seems like we didn't grab the rewind button quite early enough, but regardless. Yeah, that's still remarkably close to the Valhalla, given how different they are in terms of vehicles. Obviously, the Valhalla's an hypercar. It's not really meant for doing this kind of thing, and yet it's slightly quicker than this. But this is still very close. 3 minutes 29.177 means that it's less than 4 seconds behind the Valhalla, which, considering that, is mental in terms of acceleration, far faster than this ever was, to 60 and to 100 and higher at top end, even though that wouldn't have mattered. It's and far more agile. To be less than 4 seconds behind that, given all the extra power it's dealing with that it really didn't ever be built for, is mightily impressive. So for our first off-road vehicle, that is pretty good. But might well be that the fact that the cars that aren't generally meant for going off-road might well be quicker on this series, on this game, like the previous game, to be honest, where in our top 10 we didn't have any off-road vehicles at all. They were all hypercars, supercars, sports cars. So but still, that's a good showing from our first off-roader, and just again shows off the different kind of aspects that the course can throw up, and the different challenges it can present to different types of vehicles. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.